Hello students, we are discussing here the chapter number 3 of the class 5's. The name is the our body. So in the previous class we had discussed about the what our body is made up. We know the cells, tissues, organs and the organisms and organ system. We also classify them and we also understand the meaning of them. And we try to explain what are the internal organs and what are the external organs. And we also take a broad introductions about the skeletal systems and there are some certain parts. Okay, and now today class we will be try to explains the different part of our skeletal systems. So firstly we will be see here's the skulls, and skull is generally, as you know, that are the internal part of our head. Okay, and you know that the it protect our brains because our brain is protected inside through these bones, and these bones are just the non-movables, they will not be moved. And our skull is made by the around 22 bones, and out of the 22 bones, if I am writing here, our skull is made by the 22 bones, and around the 22 bones, among the 22, that will be made up by the around 8 bones, our skulls. But the remain 14 bones, they will be help in the making of our face. So our face is generally made by the remain 14 bones, and you will be see there are only the lower jaw, that is the lower jaw, and that are the only movable part in our skulls. Okay, and other bones are not the non-movable parts, they will not be moved. Other bones will not be moved only except the lower jaw, because that will be moved so we can eat, we can talk, that help us. So now we will be see the third is the backbones. You know that the backbones is generally present in our backside of the bones, backside of our bodies. So these backbone is generally made by the two things. Firstly, you will be see here the small structures of the bones, and these are the very flexible bones, and this is known as the spinal cord. And here you will be see there are large number of the small tiny bones, and that is around the 33 bones, and that is known as the vertebrae, and that help us to stand up, that help us to protect the spinal cords. Okay, so they are making up to do any works, we can easily bend up, we can easily rotate our body. Okay, so they give us the flexibility in our bones, in our backbones. Okay, so now we will be see the third is rib cage. As you know that this is the structures of rib cage, and that are present in our upper part of the body. So rib cage, that is a kind of the cage structures, if you will be see here, that is a kind of the cage, and there are some certain internal organs are fixed inside this rib cage because they are just protected by this rib cage, they are act as a protective layers. So you will be see here the rib cage protect our internal organs like hearts, lungs, kidney, spleens. These internal organs are fixed into, or we can say in this rib cage, because this rib cage gives the protections layers. And in the front you will be see here a small bone, this is known as the breastbones, and the backside bones that will be known as the backbones. So front bones known as the breastbones, and backside bones that is generally known as the backbones. So you will be see here there are the only few, or the we can say the two pairs, one or the two pairs, they do not directly attach to this front bones. Okay, so that is generally known as the floating ribs, because these two bones will not be directly attached to the our front bones, so that's why we are saying the floating bones. Now we will talk about the limbs. So you have to remember that the limbs, there are the two pair of the limbs present in our body. Limbs are just, as we know, we can say that are the some mm, different part, or we can say like the our arms, that is generally known as the forelimbs, and our leg is generally known as the hind limbs. So hand will be known as the forelimbs and leg will be known as the hind limbs. If we talk about the arm bones, or if we talk about the forelimbs, so there you will be see the two bones will be present, that is the consist into the two part. One is the, if you will be see here's arm, one upper parts of our hand, that is generally made by the humerus bones, and the lower parts you will be see here there are the two bones, one is the ulna and second is the radius. So in the bone, in the leg bones, you will be see here, if I'm talking about the lower bones, and that is known the hind limbs. So in the hind limbs that is also the upper leg will be made by the only single bone, and the name of it, the femurs, and the lower bones generally made up by the two bones, that is known the tibia and the fibula. So you have to remember that why the lower part of our legs and the arms, that is made by the two bones, because these two bones allow a some movement in our lower leg and lower arms. So if you will be see in these parts like the arm bones, so our hand can easily rotate, easily move in the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. It can easily move in this direction as well in this direction. Similarly, if we talk about the legs, so it can easily move, not the too much but small one, it can also move in these directions as well in these directions. So that is allows some movement in our lower part, but upper part does not be move because that are consist by only the single bones. So you have to remember that the femur is the only, or we can say that is the largest bone present in our body. Okay, that is known as the vertical bones. So vertical largest bones are present in our body, that the name is femur, and that are present in our legs. Now we will be talk about the girdles. So you have to remember that the femur is the largest, heaviest, strongest bone in the human body. Now the girdles, you have to remember that are the joints or strong joints, those joints which allow the complete movement in our body parts, and that are the two girdles present. One is the pectoral girdles and second is the pelvic girdles. So here you will be see pectoral girdles are present in our shoulder. In our shoulders there are our hand bones. So our hand bones are attached with our shoulders, and our hand allow to a circular motions movement. So our hand can easily move in the circular motions, and similarly there are our leg will be attached, so that are the pelvic girdles. Okay, so our leg is also can move in the circular movements. So girdles are the joints where allowed to the complete movement in our body parts. So they are the only two present, one is our hand and second is in the upper leg. So you will be see here there are some true false is given here. The the human bodies has a 206 bones. So I think you all know that are the true statement. And the second, you will be see all the bones and the skulls, all the bones of the skulls are the movable. So I think you know that are the false, because the lower jaw bones is the movable part, and that are also present in the skulls. So lower jaw can be moves only, and other remain bones they are not the movable parts. Okay, if I'm seeing here, only lower jaw bones can be moved, and other remain bones they will not be moved, they are the non-movable bones. So that are the false statements. So third is the rib cage is made up by the 24 bones. I think it's clear that is the true, because that is made by the 12 pair of the bones. So thank you, students.